What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Jalen Talks Sports. Today we're going to be talking about the LeBron, Bronny, and Stephen A situation. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and let's get right into it. So what started this little beef, this little drama? You can go back many years and say it could start there, like Drake and Kendrick, where all it needed to spark was the controversy, and it just bubbled over the years, till it got to a climax, where it got to a point where one wanted to strike, they wanted to go at it. Stephen A has been against LeBron for as long as I can say, honestly. As long as I've been watching him, he's never really been a fan of LeBron, but he's always given LeBron respect. Whereas Skip, it was always, I hate LeBron. I don't want to see LeBron succeed. I don't think he should ever be considered in the GOAT conversation. At least Stephen A entertains it. But when it came to this very moment, LeBron reached the boiling point where he had to come in my face and say, I don't like what you said about my son. He had to get there. He got there. He said, I don't like what you said about my kid. Don't talk about my kid. That might not be exactly what he said, but it's along the lines of that. And you can look at it from two perspectives. Three, actually. My perspective, the fan perspective, Stephen A's perspective, and LeBron's perspective. We're going to start with my perspective. Actually, no. We're going to start with LeBron's. So LeBron, you can look at it like this. LeBron has been scrutinized, criticized, judged his entire career. Why? Because he's the face of the NBA. Like I said in my last video, a lot of things come into play when it comes to choosing who's going to be the face of the league. And the reason why a lot of people don't want it is because of the media scrutiny that you come upon when you are the face of the league. LeBron has been doing this for over 20 years. And he's been the face for maybe 18 years at this point. It gets to a point with him where he's like, I can't take it. But if you not talking about me, you're talking about my son. That's where you draw the line. This is the parent perspective. Any parent watching this video would say, if someone says something bad about my kid, I'm going to defend them. I'm going to stand up for them. I'm sure most parents would do that. Even when you're in the wrong, some parents are going to come to the forefront and stand up for their child. And we can all understand LeBron from that perspective. But at the same time, he put Bronny in the situation to be criticized by you, by me, and by the media. And by all the other players in the NBA. Because when he came into the league, no one felt he deserved to be there. Why did they feel he didn't deserve to be there? Because he had done nothing to prove that he deserved to be there. You would look at it and you say, he's just a Nepo baby. He's just like every other Nepo baby. But the problem with him being a Nepo baby is the NBA is a super selective league. Not any average Joe can just get in there. You know, you need to be able to play on that level. You need to be respected by all the franchises where they'd even consider you to be a prospect and someone they may want to have on their team. To some, they saw Bronny as undraftable. Someone they wouldn't draft. And it was seen as he could only go to 3 possible teams. And if it wasn't those 3 possible teams, it'd be a team that's trying to get LeBron to join them. Because LeBron said, I'll go wherever my son goes because I want to play with him. No one decides to take Bronny. Bronny ends up on his dad's team. He ends up on his dad's team, and it's just what everyone predicted. It looks a lot worse when you end up on your parents' team because no one felt you deserved to be in the situation in the first place. They feel that there was people who were more worthy of the opportunity that got passed up on because you are who you are. You are LeBron's son. You see a lot of other players, kids, go undrafted because the league felt they didn't have enough talent to make it. Bronny's advantage was my dad is still in the league. My dad could just put me on his team. And that's exactly what happened. And for the early portions of it, Bronny really struggled. I had grace. I was a little critical, but I had grace because it's a new challenge, one. And two, he just had a life-altering event 12 months prior. He could have died. He really could have died. And having a heart issue is going to affect how you play basketball. You're going to be less aggressive. You're not going to be yourself because you're worried about it happening again. So for him to make it this far and actually start succeeding is great. But now I'm going to talk about Stephen A's perspective. Stephen A is allowed to criticize LeBron, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard, Bronny, Jared McCain, whoever he wants to criticize. Because that is his job. In America, one of their amendments is freedom of speech. We're entitled to our opinion on different matters. I don't even live in America. But in most free countries, or what you'd call a free country, you're allowed to speak your mind. You're allowed to state your opinion on how you feel. The only difference between my opinion, your opinion, and Stephen A's opinion is that Stephen A says his opinion in front of millions of people. And only a couple hundred may hear my opinion, and maybe just your family could hear your opinion. Just your friends, possibly. I don't know who you talk to about these situations. But he has a bigger audience than all of us. And he gets paid money to talk about it. We don't get paid money to do this. We just speak our minds. So, if someone is playing bad, he has all rights to say, you're playing bad. You suck. The NBA players look at it and say, well, you're not in the league. You never made the league. Who are you to talk? Who are you to talk? And that's the problem with this. His job is to get you to watch his show, which means he's going to say whatever he wants to say. Sometimes he's going to say things that he doesn't actually believe. Sometimes he's going to criticize players who don't really need to be criticized because that's what's going to bring in viewers. But in the case of Bronny, he has all rights to criticize him. Because guess what? LeBron, as much as I love him, and as much as I consider him to be the greatest basketball player of all time, he put his son in a situation to be criticized. Criticized by you, by me, and by all those media personalities on TV. Because when he got drafted, he didn't deserve to be drafted. No one would say that. No one would say he deserved to be drafted. Everyone felt like he was put in a position because of who he knew. So that gives Stephen A all rights to say whatever the hell he wants to say about Bronny. LeBron can be mad about it all he wants. Because he's a father. And when someone talks bad about your kid, you don't want to hear that. But at the same time, he has to understand that he put his son in the position to be criticized. When you're a part of the league, when you're a part of celebrity culture, when you're a part of Hollywood, when you're famous, everyone knows who you are and they're allowed to talk about you. So you can't protect your kid from that. They criticize Blue Ivy, who's only like 12 years old. They criticize Northwest, who's also like 12 years old. They're kids. They get criticized. They're famous. So people are going to talk about them, regardless of their age, because of who they are and what they're doing. You put your kid in a situation to be criticized. I understand where you're coming from in defense of him. But at the same time, you have to understand you're the reason he is being criticized. Now you want to look at it from Bronny's perspective. Bronny doesn't say anything, to be honest with you. He's very quiet into himself, if that makes sense. He's just like a kid. He's not going to address it. He's smart enough to understand that he doesn't need to address it. Because if he addresses it, it could make him look worse. I'm very proud of the fact that he's been quiet throughout his entire NBA career. He hasn't delved into the fact that, I play on my dad's team. It's probably because he's my dad. He hasn't talked about it. And I respect him for that. He's let his game do the talking. Last night, he went out there and he dropped 17 points in an NBA game against a playoff team, the Milwaukee Bucks. Let the man prove to you that he belongs. That's what I'll say on him. Let him prove to us that he belongs in the league. Let him be the decision maker here, where he proves to me and you that he's capable, that he can do it on a consistent basis. If he starts, giving us bad performances every time he touches the court, you have every right to call him a bust. You have every right to say he's not good enough to be in the league. But give him time. Let him play. Let him do his thing. That's all I got for you today. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Let me know your opinions down below. Peace out.